The Republican Party hates you. Like, they just hate you, and they hate me, and they hate all working class Americans, and they just praise the billionaires. And this is not news to you, but as maybe you guys, hopefully you know this, Trump is in China, okay? He went to China for a meeting with Xi Jinping to you know, talk about fucking making deals in the state of the world and the American century of humiliation, and how everybody on planet Earth is running into the loving arms of China because America has given up all of its soft power and thinks that we can rule the world with, you know, fucking bombing everybody into submission. It's diabolical type shit, right? But what is important is Trump brought 3 White House officials with him to China and 17 billionaires. 3 White House officials and 17 billionaires representing all, I mean, I think altogether they have about $1 trillion. It's like $970 billion put together with all these people, because those are the real people that Trump represents. Trump has never given a fuck about the working class. He's never given a shit about you. If you have calluses on your hands and you have to take a shower when you get home from work, he thinks you're a disgusting piece of shit. This is a guy who was born and bred, not with a silver spoon in his mouth, but a silver spoon shoved up his fucking ass. That's the type of man this is. I got a small loan of $1 million from my father, which was a lie. It was actually $10 million. But we literally, we irrefutably live in a fucking oligarchy. We live in a goddamn kakistocracy, okay? It's a complete and total fucking joke. It's also a mobocracy, because Donald Trump was very close with the Italian mafia and Roy Cohn, and that's who, like, you know, raised him. It's not like his daddy was there to fucking raise him. His father absolutely despised him. His favorite was Fred, Trump's dead fucking brother, who died of what, like a drug overdose or some shit? Goated move. But we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about how Trump absolutely despises you. We're going to talk about the business leaders he brought to China. We got a video clip of, Senator Murray asking Pete Hegseth why Americans need to give up daycare, Medicaid, and Medicare, all to fund the $1.5 trillion military budget. And the thing is, the reason why she's asking that is because Donald Trump himself said, like, hey, the federal, like, we can't worry about daycare or Medicaid or Medicare. We can worry about one thing, and that is fighting wars, okay? This is because Donald Trump is a warmongering, fat-bodied fascist. You know how it is, but we're going to be talking about why the GOP and the Republican Party absolutely fucking despises you. There's a great clip going around of Donald Trump saying that he's asked, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal in Iran? And his response is, not even a little bit. I don't think about Americans' financial situations. I don't care about anybody other than myself. Literally said that shit. And then AOC responded to that. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna dive right the fuck in. We're gonna be talking about, you know, what does Trump actually care about? He cares about building the arch de Trump, which he said himself. Hey, sir, who are we building this arch for? He said, me. It's for me. And the reflecting pool. And Trump also says that it is literally, I'm not kidding. He said it is treason to say that Iran is doing well. I'm not kidding. He said this. He says it is treason to say that the Iranian enemy is doing well militarily. So just nightmare shit. And then I don't even know if I have anything for. I've got a great last thing for you. We are going to be playing Operation Epic Furious. This is there was like an art piece that was put up in the National Mall, I believe. The anonymous artists who put up the statues of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein right in front of the White House, they created an arcade game, and they put 2 arcade machines, I think right in the National Mall, where you can play an arcade version of Operation Epstein's Fury. And I have it, and we're gonna play a little bit of it, 1 or 2 games, just to see how it goes. But anyway, let's dive right the fuck in. But before we do, I want to remind you, hi, I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti Vibe. This is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, a sponsor, a government, a PAC, or a billionaire. I am a dissident of the Fuhrer. I am a dissident of the regime. I fucking hate fascists, and I am a proud dirtbag socialist. So because of that, I don't make too much money on YouTube. My videos aren't pumped out too much. My subscriber rate is fucking plummeted. So if you do want to help support this channel to pump it out in the algorithm, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I really appreciate that. It would cost you nothing, and it helps me a lot. But if you do want to help me out financially, like these loyalists are, you can donate to the channel by clicking the thanks button down below. You can become a member of the channel channel by clicking the join button down below. You can buy merch like the posters and the mugs and the hoodies and the stickers and the low-cut hoodies, all that shit. That's located down below. And of course, you can become a patron on Patreon. Big shout out to the patrons. You could donate $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever you want to donate. It helps me out immensely, and that's what keeps the lights on in my apartment. I ain't fucking doing any deals with advertisers or shit like that. This is entirely grassroots funded media by you, the viewer. I am simply a megaphone for the people. All right, without further ado, we're going to dive right into the list here. So Trump heads into his meeting with China, right? Now, you would think, you'd like, okay, so like he's bringing like a whole bunch of White House representatives so that he can negotiate deals on behalf of the American people. But no, that's not what's going on. He's bringing in giant business titans so that he can make better deals for them, the billionaire class, the Epstein class, much like he did with the big, beautiful bill, or as I like to call it, the big bullshit bill, which did not lower the taxes for the working class whatsoever. It did lower the taxes for the top 1%. It is the largest tax cut that they have ever received in American history. Shouldn't surprise you, because Donald Trump is one of them. Donald Trump is in the 1%. He never paid taxes back when he was a civilian. This is confirmed. That's why there was a whole big thing during the 2016 election to release his tax returns, and he refused to do it because he does not pay taxes, right? But again, there's a different set of laws for the rich and the average American. You don't pay your taxes, the IRS comes and they take your fucking dog. Trump doesn't pay his taxes, he becomes the president of the United States of America, because the game is fucking rigged, okay? The rich help the rich and the poor get fucked. That's the name of America, okay? So, let's talk about this summit that Trump is having. So the Führer's entourage for his trip to China includes top administration officials, several of the country's most powerful executives, and members of the Trump family. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, whatever, fuck that. Eric Trump, the absolute window-licking troglodyte son, not the cokehead one or the 7-foot-tall one. The one that looks like Sloth from the Goonies, the one who's like actually mentally disabled. Eric Trump, the president's middle son, who runs the Trump Organization, the main family business, he's there. Brett Ratner, a film producer and director, he's probably there to film some incredible propaganda for them. That's the guy who directed the Melania movie, which they pretended was a documentary, but if it was really a documentary, they would be talking about how she was a cheap Slovenian hooker before she met Donald Trump, and then after she met Donald Trump, she became an expensive Slovenian hooker, because that's what she is. By the way, real quick, if you want, you can go to Google and you can type in Melania's tits, and you'll see the tits of the First Lady of the United States of America. That's why I call her the first whore. And again, I love whores. Don't get me wrong. We love our sluts. We love our whores. I'm a sexually promiscuous type of guy. That's the shit I do. But I do think it is really funny that Donald Trump, who role plays as like a devout Christian and like, you know, he claims that he is Jesus Christ. Donald Trump claims that he is God, like living God on earth. It's just hilarious that his wife is a cheap Slovenian hooker, and I can look at her tits online. I think that's remarkable. But let's take a look at Trump's entourage to show you, the working class, how little you get represented and how this country is quite literally operated by the Epstein class. So here's a list of the White House officials that Trump brought with him. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, the alcoholic defense secretary, or Secretary of War if you're stupid, and Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. That's it. 3 White House officials. He didn't bring J.D. Vance with him, just so you understand, because Trump and J.D. have a huge divide right now. Trump fucking hates J.D. Vance. Trump is planning on running against J.D. Vance in the 2028 presidential election, because Trump will be running a 3rd term, because the Constitution doesn't matter anymore. The Supreme Court is completely fucking rigged, and the entire GOP is bought out by Israel, and they will do anything that the Israelis tell them to, and the Israelis know that as long as they have the fat-bodied pedophile in the Oval Office, they can use blackmail to get him to continue their genocidal war campaign while they expand the Greater Israel Project. Okay, this is verified fact. If you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid. Now, let's take a look at the list of billionaires that Trump brought with him. These are the people, by the way, just so you understand, these are the people who will be really having meetings with Xi Jinping, okay? Donald Trump has dementia, he has Alzheimer's, he's dying, he can't really think anymore, he's like a complete and total waste of oxygen, right? He can't have these meetings, and he's just a puppet. These are the puppet masters who will be discussing with Xi Jinping the future of the relationship between America and China, where we hand them over all of our power because we have completely and totally collapsed. Here it is. Tim Cook of Apple, Larry Fink, BlackRock, Steven Schwartzman, Blackstone, Kelly Ortberg, Boeing, Brian Sykes, Cargill, Jane Fraser, Citi, Jim Anderson, Coherent. Larry Culp, GE Aerospace. David Solomon, Goldman Sachs. Jacob Thaysen, Illumina. Michael Meback, MasterCard. Dina Powell McCormick, Meta. Sanjay Mehrotra, Micron. Jensen Huang, Nvidia. Cristiano Amon, Qualcomm. Elon Musk, Tesla. And Ryan McHenry of Visa. It has never been more blatantly obvious that this entire country is run by the Epstein class. Your representatives have no fucking power, okay? Every time you go out there and you vote for, oh, he's saying the things I want to say, that guy has no power. He is beholden to fucking donors, okay? And these are the donors. These are the real politicians of the United States of America. I just love knowing that I live in a fucking oligarchy where billionaires can put their fucking boot on my neck and tell me to lick it. And it's my job to just lick, like every other fucking Republican shut out there. It is, dude, this is absolutely fucking disgusting behavior. Like, we're no different than the Russians. We are no different than the fucking Russians at this point. We have no leg to stand on insulting fucking Vladimir Putin for his illegal invasion of Ukraine and the fact that his billionaire oligarchs are the ones who run the government, because we literally do the exact same thing. We are the exact same people as the fucking Russians. Oh, it's fucking diabolical. And now I'm starting to understand the Russian people more and feel sympathy for them, because it's like, you know, sometimes you're growing up in America and you're like, why don't the Russian people rise up and take down their evil empire? Well, why the fuck don't we? Why the fuck don't we? It's because we are neutered. We are subservient. The average Republican man is just a servile little doggy to the billionaire class. It is so unbelievably pathetic. And this is why I say we need more progressives in power. This is why I tell you, like, if you're in California, you need to be voting for a friend of the show, Shoykat Chakrabarti. He's the fucking Zoran Mamdani of California. This is why I've been screaming before Zoran was elected and doing everything I could to help him get elected. This is why we cheer for AOC and Bernie Sanders. If we do not completely and utterly replace the Democrat establishment, the AOC, you fuck. No, if we do not replace the DNC with the DSA, we will never have progressive values in this nation. All we will do is keep on repeating this 80-year cycle of the rise of fascism and then the collapse of the American economy and then Democrats taking over power just to undo the shit that the Republicans have done and then never be able to do something like universal health care or UBI or free college or any of that shit, because the Democrats that get in power have to spend all 4 or 8 years undoing the dog shit policies that the Republicans have passed. Fuck the DNC, start advocating for true socialists, okay? Shout out to Hassan Piker, thank you for fucking creating me, you goddamn psycho. Anyway, all right, we're gonna move on here. I want you to just see all of these billionaires and this bumbling fucking idiot. This is them marching into China to get Fortnite danced on by Xi Jinping and rickrolled by the fucking Communist Chinese Party. There's no audio to this, but I mean, there's no White House officials. There's Donald, and then it's just all, and there's his fuck-ass stupid son and his dumb piece of shit daughter and king of the Nazis, king of autistic Nazis, Elon fucking Musk. I think that's Huang of Nvidia. It's just all billionaires being led into this fucking meeting with with Xi Jinping. It's a nightmare. All right, so now we talked about how the Republicans fucking hate you. I want you to listen to Pete Hegseth explain just like, well, he's gonna dodge the question over and over again, but what Senator Murray here is asking why Americans should give up daycare and healthcare to pay for the defense budget. The reason why she is asking that is because of this now since deleted clip. This entire speech has been, they've tried to bury it. They tried to delete it because this is a private speech. Trump did not think that this was gonna go public. This was him to all of his donors and to his his loyalists and to members of the cabinet, right? This is what Trump said on May 8th. Please get a look at this.
Because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it, too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes.
You hear that? There you go. You just heard Donald Trump advocate to raise your taxes to pay for daycare. Not the federal government with a $1.5 trillion budget, but don't worry, there's more. Let's rewind.
They should pay. They have to raise their taxes. but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them.
Yes, he's saying we could lower our taxes. He's saying our to this room. He's talking about the billionaires. He's talking about the billionaires. He's talking to billionaires, saying we're going to lower our taxes and we're going to raise their taxes, the states, the peasants. We're going to raise their taxes, but we're going to lower ours because we're the billionaires. We're the ones who run this fucking show. Really remember this.
And they should pay for it, too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up, but it's not possible.
He's saying lower the amount of money the federal government gives these states.
For us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection.
You heard it. You heard it yourself, guys. Donald Trump says that the federal government needs to do one thing and one thing only: fight wars, wage wars. Give us more of your fucking tax dollars for the military budget, the $1.5 trillion military budget. Oh, again, I'm talking to you now, person raised in the South who voted Republican their entire life. Please stop self-sabotaging. The Republicans fucking hate you. They think you're disgusting. You're part of the working class. They think you're fucking gross. They view you as a tool. They view you as a vehicle to fatten their own fucking pockets. That's why all they talk about is the stock market. Are you invested in the stock market? Probably no. And if you are, you got what, 20 grand invested? They've got hundreds of millions of dollars invested in the stock market, and they're using this money on fucking Polymarket and Kalshi going, I'm gonna bet $700,000 that we bomb Iran tonight, and then I'm gonna bomb Iran tonight. Like, bro, when are you gonna wake the fuck up? Progressive values, socialism. This is all about you. It's in the name. Socialism, society. It's about social programs that benefit you, the member of society. Not the motherfuckers who have their own private islands. Those motherfuckers aren't even part of this society. They're part of this secret fucking cult group that worships Baal and Moloch. Okay? They worship Baal and fucking Moloch. God damn it. All right. So you heard Trump say this, okay? So then she references this in her question. I'm going to speed this up to 1.5 speed so it don't take too much fucking time. Where's the playback speed? There it is, 1.5. Here we go.
The president has called Medicaid, Medicare, and child care little scams and said, quote, we're fighting wars. We cannot take care of daycare. I'm just trying to understand that. Is it your position, since you're asking taxpayers for another $500 billion for the war, that American families should be forced to give up child care?
Another $500 billion for the war. We already gave you $1 trillion, and now you want another $500 billion? I thought you said the war is won. I thought you said Iran has been militarily defeated, and if you say that they haven't, you're committing fucking treason. That's literally what the president said. I thought you said you wiped out their Navy. Why are there mine-laying boats? I thought you said you wiped out their anti-aircraft. Why are there American planes being shot down? Not that pilot, by the way. All right, quick tangent. That downed pilot did not exist, okay? Why hasn't he been brought out? Why hasn't that brave American pilot who was shot down and we had this awesome rescue mission and you had to climb a mountain, why hasn't he been brought out on the camera? Remember during the fucking State of the Union, or whatever the fuck that was, they dead-ass brought out the fucking helicopter pilot for the Venezuela operation and he was so freshly wounded he was still in a fucking sling? Why hasn't Trump brought that motherfucker out? It's because he didn't fucking exist. It's because he didn't fucking exist. That was a failed special operations attempt at infiltrating Isfahan or Natanz and gathering the enriched uranium, and it failed fucking miserably, and we got way more than 13 dead U.S. soldiers. If you still believe that number, I got a fucking bridge to sell you, you dumb bastard.
Care and health coverage so that you can have $1.5 trillion for this budget?
Senator, that's not my department. I certainly support this, and I also support the president's efforts to find and remove fraud wherever possible in a general sense.
I'm not
and we do
But
that.
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He is the most pro-fraud president of all fucking time. He has pardoned, this is real. This is gonna sound so insane that you're not even gonna believe me, but you should look this up. There was a guy who had committed like $270 million worth of fraud. Trump pardoned him, and then that guy got arrested for committing fraud again, and Trump pardoned him again. Daddy, brother, Trump has pardoned more fraudsters. The amount of money that Trump has pardoned these fraudsters for, it is so much more than the amount of fraud committed by the Somali population. He is the most pro-fraud, pro-corruption president in American fucking history.
As well.
I'm not talking about fraud. I actually asked whether an American family should lose their health care or their child care to pay for this budget. That is literally what the president suggests.
The only answer to this is no. Should Americans give up their health care and their daycare and their Medicaid so that we can fucking fight in Iran? The only acceptable answer to this is no. But watch, I guarantee you Pete Kegsbreth, the rapist, alcoholic, secretary of war crimes, is gonna find a way to dodge the fucking answer.
The president has proposed a historic $1.5 trillion budget that will defend the nation and confront threats like Iran, which previous presidents allowed to happen, as Senator Graham pointed out. Previous administrations said they wanted to take care of this problem, and they did not, and he's doing it.
The question in front of the American people is, what are they being asked to give up for this $1.5 trillion? That's where I was talking about. And lastly, Mr. Secretary, your budget request cuts through Trump's ramblings and really, to me, makes the truth clear that you and the president don't value families as much as you value defense contractors. You want to increase the war budget.
I mean, every family at Dover. Okay, don't tell me we don't care about families. We sure do.
Mr. Secretary.
Oh, you don't give a fuck about those families at Dover. Trump was at Dover for the exchange of their corpses, and he was wearing a fucking what was it? 45 and 47 hat. He was wearing some stupid fucking hat, and he was looking at his watch, and he was yawning, and he didn't give a fuck, and he loaded their bodies into fucking Amazon delivery trucks. Suck my dick, you alcoholic fuck.
In every way we possibly can.
I'm asking you about taxpayer dollars that everybody has. When we've been to war before, we've asked people to do victory gardens. We've asked them to pay more. You are not doing that. You are asking for $1.5 trillion, which means something else has to be given up. That is what this committee is looking at. You want to increase the war budget for the next year by $500 billion. That is taxpayer money that could be used to feed families or build new affordable homes or wipe out some diseases completely or increase child investments 20 times over. But
wipe out some diseases completely. Brother, Donald Trump literally defunded all pediatric cancer research. That's cancer for kids, okay? We were actually approaching the point where we might be able to find a very effective treatment for child leukemia. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk cut 100% all funding for pediatric cancer research. That's the type of man Donald Trump and RFK are. You know what it really is? Again, it goes right back to the fucking donors. If they had a cure or a treatment for cancer, then they wouldn't be able to fucking make all that money giving you chemo. That's the reality. The GOP is unironically pro-cancer.
We're asking us to blow it all on war, and that's not even counting the money that you have spent bombing Iran or that you may still request in a separate supplemental. And to me, this budget wasn't even strategically crafted. $1.5 trillion is like the president decided that was the number and you all filled in the blanks. So what I'm here today to say is you asked for a massive laundry list of unnecessary spending. It's a huge payday for defense contractors, and you still don't even ask to give DoD civilian workers a pay raise. And to me, this is absurd. I know you do not care what I have to say. So let me quote you someone you might actually listen to, President Eisenhower. He said, "Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and not clothed. This world in arms is not spending money alone. It is spending the sweat of its laborers, the genius of its scientists, the hopes of its children." That is what this budget proposal is asking. It's going to leave Americans cold and hungry to fund Trump's war and make defense contractors a fortune. So that is why I hope this committee throws that in the trash and comes together with a budget that works for all American families. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Support journalism.
Incredible questions by her, but you watch how Pete Hegseth just refuses to answer the question. But again, going back to the overarching point of this video, Donald Trump hates you. Republicans hate you. You're about to watch Trump be asked, hey, Mr. President, how often do you think of Americans' financial situation while you're waging this war in Iran? And you are not prepared for his answer. It shouldn't surprise you, but get ready.
Anything else will be trade.
Just to clarify, did you say earlier that the only thing that matters to you when it comes to Iran is a nuclear weapon? You're not considering the financial impact of this war on Americans?
The most important thing by far, including whether our stock market, which by the way is at an all-time high, but including whether or not our stock market goes up or down a little bit, the most important thing by far is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
What about the pressure on Americans and prices right now?
Every American understands.
Americans, how they're feeling about
every American. Are you listening to me? Every American understands, and they just had a poll, 85%, which is surprising. It's only that they understand that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
So he's claiming that 85% of Americans support the war in Iran. That is not true whatsoever. It is the least popular war that we have ever fucking had.
If Iran has a nuclear weapon, the whole world would be in trouble because they happen to be crazy. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. Now, if the stock market goes up or down a little bit, the American people understand it. When it's over, you're going to have a massive drop in the price of oil, which a lot of people thought would be higher. And I mean, it was $100, it was $99 yesterday, which is low.
Which is low. $99 a barrel is low? Motherfucker, it cost me $100 to fill up my car. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't worry, there's more. Dude, it only gets worse. Don't worry, there's more.
Which is relatively low. When this war is over.
And I love how, by the way, just so you know, he only ever talks about the future. He's like, when this war is over, everything's going to get better. Trump has never been able to say like, oh, everything's great. No, he says that, oh, in 2 weeks, everything's going to be great. In 2 weeks, everything's going to be great. In 2 weeks, everything's going to be great. I promise.
Oil is going to drop. The stock market's going to go through the roof. And truly, I think we're in the golden age right now. You're going to see a golden...
Yo, you are. Of course you are, bro. You put up a golden statue of yourself in Doral. They're building the Arch de Trump that is quite literally designed just for you. You're building the Epstein Memorial Ballroom. You're building this new reflecting pool. Like, yeah, of course, you're living through the golden age, bro. You're getting everything you fucking wanted, including your own face. Even your own fucking face is looking a little bit gold from all that orange shit you fucking wipe all over it, you fat fuck.
Age like we've never seen before.
All right, now don't worry, there's more. Get this. Watch this one. This one is the one that, yo, Democrats watching this. Anybody in the Democrat Party who is watching this, just take this clip and roll it. This is your new advertisement. Listen to this.
To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters is...
Listen to that again. Listen to that again and believe this man.
To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. He's saying it. He's telling you, this isn't me. Here, watch this. Donald Trump doesn't care about your financial situation, not even a little bit. And some red hat wearing troglodyte will say, well, fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, okay. Take it from the horse's mouth.
To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
This man hates you. This man hates all of you because none of you are billionaires. And here's AOC's response to this. We fucking love AOC.
What do you make of Donald Trump saying today that he doesn't think about Americans' financial situation? He said it in a press conference on the White House lawn today.
I mean, I'm sure he's very focused on his own financial situation and how he's going to enrich himself off of all of these kind of...
Trump has made $6 billion since Inauguration Day, by the way, primarily by robbing his own supporters. Hey, MAGA, did you guys order those Trump phones? Did you guys order those Trump phones? What happened to your Trump phone? Where's your Trump phone? Did they recently update their terms of service and their agreement? And they said, you investing into the Trump phone does not guarantee that the Trump phone will ever even be created. And we didn't even fucking make any of them. Just like the Trump watches. Granted, the overwhelming majority of people who bought the Trump phone were like Qatari billionaires who bought 100 Trump phones. And in reality, what that was Trump calling them going, I saw your payment. What do you want in exchange? And then it's some sort of backroom fucking corrupt deal.
Deals. So I don't see how he has time to think about the financial prospects of the American working class when he's spending all of his time thinking about how to enrich himself.
Well, even if he wasn't spending his time doing that, he doesn't care about the working class. He actually vehemently despises all of us. All right, and then you want to know what Trump does care about? He cares about the budget. Here's him saying that the size of the ballroom has doubled, but the price of it hasn't. And then when a reporter says, but sir, like the price did double, he actually almost says, you're retarded. He gets and then he catches himself. Okay, watch this.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here.
Under budget? Motherfucker, you literally just doubled the budget.
Doubled the size of it because we obviously need that.
Oh, let's go back.
Going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that.
Obviously. No, you're so right, mein Führer. We obviously need that.
We're right now on budget, under budget. And
we're on budget and under budget. Great.
Ahead of schedule.
The price has doubled is what you said. The price has doubled, and it had. First, he said it was going to be $200 billion, but no taxpayer money, all donations from the billionaires. Now he's saying it's going to be $400 billion, and we're going to be taking money from the American taxpayer. So you, red hat wearing toothless fucking hick, you're going to be paying for the ballroom that you will never, ever, 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 ever step foot in, and you fucking know it.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. Double the size. You are.
Did you hear that? He was about to say you are a retarded person.
You are not.
Listen again.
You are not.
He almost fucking said it. We all know it. One more time.
You are not a smart person.
You want to know why he's afraid to call her the R slur? It's because he doesn't want to accidentally insult his own base. Okay? That's the reality of it. Okay? I'm going to try to say this in a kind way, but I guarantee you the overwhelming majority of people who voted for Donald Trump have some sort of mental disability. Okay, and again, there's nothing wrong with having a mental disability, but I can guarantee you that the overwhelming majority of people who voted for Donald Trump have mental disabilities, and they don't like the R slur because they're like, you're talking about me, bro, that's me. That's reality. That is unfortunately reality. One more time.
Size of it, you dumb person. Double the size. You are not a smart person.
Unfucking believable. And yet Republicans will shit in their hands and clap together like fucking seals. And again, it's not just about the ballroom, it's also about the Arch de Trump. Did you forget? Did you forget about the Arch de Trump that they're building? He literally was asked in the White House, like, who are we building this arch for? And he goes, me. This is on video. If you don't believe me, I don't have that one queued up, but this is on video. Who is this arch being built for? Me! Now watch this. Listen to this.
You're building a 250-foot arch de Trump that will overshadow our veterans' final resting place. And Mr. Secretary, it's hard to understand how these projects to stroke Trump's ego do anything for the American people with their day-to-day struggles to afford daily life. And the ballooning costs of these tributes to Donald Trump really speak to the lack of fiscal responsibility in this budget, not to what you said in your testimony that this is all about fiscal.
Yo, I just realized they have some poor motherfucker standing there holding this entire thing up. You couldn't get a fucking, like an easel for this? You couldn't get something to put this on? That is so, I don't know who you are, brother. But, you know, we love you, bro. I'm so sorry. That is so fucking hilarious.
Responsibility. So can you just confirm, you know, with this arch specifically, who is this arch for? Who's it being built for?
I think you're probably aware that there's been no final agency action around building.
Remember his name, Burgum, okay? Because we're going to bring him up after this. Remember this, Burgum.
Building something on a site.
That was not my question about
no, but
technicality on final agency action. Who's it being built for?
It's not a technicality. You're acting.
This is my question, Mr. Secretary. I'm sorry, that's the way it works. Who is the arch being built for?
The frame of your question is that there has been a approved proposal and something is actually being built.
Now, let's forget about final agency action and other legalese. There is a proposal to build this arch. Who is it for?
The reason he's asking this is because of that clip I was telling you about. Trump was at, should I just pull up the clip? Do you want me to pull up the clip? Let's see. Trump says the arch is being made for him. Where is that clip? I think this is it. Yeah, here it is. The reason he's asking this is because Trump said it was being built for me. This is a long time ago.
What is this, Mr. President?
Thank you guys. It's going to be built. Thank you all. You come this way. Thank you.
For who?
Thanks, guys.
Take
a look. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, I know where it is, but who's it for?
Thank you, guys.
Me. It's for me because I'm the Führer. You know who else built an arch? Adolf fucking Hitler. You know who else had their empire collapse? Adolf fucking Hitler. You know who else was a Nazi? Adolf fucking Hitler. Like, okay, so back to the question. So we know why he's asking the question, because Trump himself said the arch was being built for him. Here we go.
A approved proposal and something is actually being built.
Let's forget about final agency action and other legalese. There is a proposal to build this arch. Who is it for?
There's a discussion about it. I wouldn't say there's not a proposal.
Who's it for?
Well, for the American people, just like everything else in this thing, because...
Oh, it's for the American people. Oh, I did not know you were building the arch for me. This is the Arch de Chris Valenti? Oh, no, it's the Arch de Trump. Trump. And they said that it's going to have pictures of great American heroes on it. It's going to be 50 pictures of Donald Trump.
There are 68 democratic capitals around the free world that have arches, and I guess that somehow the United States building an arch for the people to celebrate.
We're going to build one just a little taller than the one in Pyongyang.
Trump literally made sure that this arch is like 5 inches taller than the arch in Pyongyang for fucking Kim Jong-un. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass.
Because someone in the White House insists that ours be the biggest. Mr. Secretary, you may not be aware of this, but actually I'm sure you are aware. Donald Trump was asked this question specifically on the record, and he said this arch is for him. He said his answer was me. We can enter that into the record by unanimous consent if you'd like, but I'm pretty sure you're aware of that.
And I guarantee Doug Burgum will deny that. All right, so speaking of Doug Burgum, listen to what Trump had to post about Doug Burgum today. If you'd like to see the construction of the reflecting pool located between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial and look at the beginning of what will be the final sparkling blue surface, go check it out now. Obama and Biden, they say, spent over $100 million with years under construction, and it never worked. It leaked like a sieve, looked terrible, was closed most of the time, and was a complete disaster. They ultimately gave up on the project, declaring that it was impossible to fix. Then came along Trump. Doug Burgum and his team at the Department of Interior are doing an excellent job on a very complex but solvable problem. When it is complete, there will be no leakage, which there was since its 1922 construction, and it will sparkle magnificently as the water is put in and begins to rise. A very tricky and difficult construction job will yield a beautiful result. President Donald J. Trump. Brother, did you forget that you're waging an illegal and offensive war in the name of Israel? Speaking of war, you're a terrorist. Yeah, you watching. You're a terrorist. You're a jihadist, at least according to the White House. This is on whitehouse.gov. It is their new strategy of counterterrorism. And what is important is this part on page 7 of 16, okay? So we're going to go here. Designation of cartels and transnational gangs as FTOs. Now, an FTO is a foreign terrorist organization, okay? Talking about something like ISIS, or at least according to the US government, something like Hamas, right? Despite the fact that Hamas consists of the orphaned sons and daughters that have been murdered by the Zionist Israeli apartheid regime, and Hamas low-key has all the right in the world to defend themselves. But let's read this again. Designation of cartels and transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations to make available additional intelligence authorities and deny and disrupt their financial streams and access to the United States. So first time you read this, you go, designation of cartels and transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. Now even I don't agree with this. I'm not saying the cartels are good, but cartels are a business. They are not in the business of terrorism, right? They're in the business of making money. Terrorism is about committing acts of violence in order to enact some sort of political change, right? That's not what cartels do. They're in the business of making fucking money. But what is important is if you go down a little bit more. So right here, taking necessary and specific actions in self-defense to neutralize imminent threats to the United States of America. So they're talking about Al-Qaeda and ISIS, but look at this right here. Diplomatic, financial, cyber, and covert actions to undermine and deter inimical state actors from assisting designated foreign terrorist organizations, whether cartels, jihadists, or violent left-wing radicals. Think about that. violent left-wing radicals are foreign terrorist organizations. Well, Trump claims that anybody and everybody on the left is the violent left-wing radicals. Like, according to Trump, I am a violent left-wing radical. I was born in the United States. Both of my parents were born in the United States. Both of their parents were born in the United States. But apparently, according to the United States government, I am a part of a foreign terrorist organization where it says that they will ultimately destroy this established threat. I do believe at the very end of this, it says we will find you and we will kill you. Is that what it says? Let me see. Let's see. Control F. Kill. Let's see. Is that where it is? No, maybe not. This one's going to be, oh, here it is. Nope, there it is. Found it. So this is what Donald Trump has to say to all leftists. Quote, "We will find you and we will kill you." Huh. 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 "We will find you and we will kill you." To all leftists, he said this message. Huh. Ain't that something? All right, now the last thing that I want to show you is this. So, some anonymous artists, the same one who put up the statues of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein dancing in front of the White House, they created this arcade game called Operation Epic Furious, right? And a couple of National Guard members were photographed playing it in the National Mall. It's a satire making a joke of Operation Epstein's Fury, right? Well, you can actually play this game, and I have not played it yet, but I want to try and play one round of it for you, just for, a little bit of fun way to end this video, okay? And you can play this too. This is epicfurious.com. Let's see what happens. Another big beautiful day as the best president ever. Oh, do I move? Uh-oh, another one of your executive orders was halted by the courts. Shit. Order a Diet Coke or invade Iran? What should we do? I'm thinking invade Iran. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back. Yeah! Hey, boss! Just saw on Truth Social that you declared war on Iran. Hell yeah! Some call it a war. I call it renovating my Middle East ballroom. My delts are combat ready. Let's liberate some oil. Go outside and borrow Kid Rock's helicopter to get to the war zone. Okay, let's go. Let's go! Isn't this great, guys? What the fuck is this? Oh my god, is that the golden statue? That's the golden statue of Trump and Epstein. Wait, before you go, stealing oil may be a war crime. Let's talk about something else then. How about lube? Genius, sir! People loved stealing lube from Diddy. Let's get in the helicopter, folks. Ready to rock Iran back to the Stone Ages? Hell yes! Watch your ass, Iran! President Trump is coming. I'll fight this war and win it by hamburger o'clock. Mr. President, your masculinity is overwhelming. Capture all of the lube in Iran and tip it home to the always open Twitter moves. Thanks, JD. And then I filled out a few more of those cognitive tests for you. All right, that's all I'm gonna play for this video. I might continue to play this. I might continue to play this like on stream, but outside of the video. But like, guys, this nation is a fucking joke. We are the laughing stock of the planet. Okay? People fucking despise Israel, but they laugh at us, bro. People are afraid of Israel. Rightfully, they commit fucking genocide left and right. And obviously people are afraid of American bombs because that's what Israel is using for the war, but for their genocides. We are a fucking joke of a nation. And the last thing I want to leave you with is Donald Trump claiming that if you say Iran is doing well militarily, you are committing treason. When the fake news says that the Iranian enemy is doing well militarily against us, it's virtual treason in that it is such a false and even preposterous statement. They are aiding and abetting the enemy. All it does is give Iran false hope when none should exist. These are American cowards that are rooting against our country. Iran had 159 ships in their navy. Every single one is now resting at the bottom of the sea. They have no navy, their air force is gone, all technology is gone, their leaders are no longer with us, and the country is in an economic disaster. Only losers, ingrates, and fools are able to make a case against America. President Donald J. Trump. Hey MAGA, is it a good thing when the President of the United States is having a temper tantrum like a baby with shit in his diapers going, "Stop saying I'm losing the war! It's not fair to say I'm losing the war! It's a big treason to say that I'm losing the war!" Get me a kid to rape. Like, MAGA, is that a good sign? Are you feeling confident in your fucking cult leader? You feeling confident in the Fuhrer? I bet you fucking are. Anyway, that's all I've got for you for today's Valenti VOD. If you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps me immensely. Don't forget to help this channel out financially. Donate $1, buy merch, become a patron, do whatever you want to do. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.